Welcome back. I'm Akosia Kwache, a National Professional Officer working on social determinants of health in WHO's country office in Ghana. Welcome to Module 4. In this module, we'll present Step 3 of the Wash Fit cycle, focusing on conducting a risk assessment to identify and prioritize areas for improvement. By conclusion of Module 4, you'll understand the role of risk assessments for maintaining safety and compliance. You'll require the skills to assign and interpret risk scores, factoring in both severity and likelihood of potential issues. Additionally, you will learn to prioritize issues based on risk scores, particularly focusing on high risk areas needing immediate attention. Moreover, you develop effective strategies for prioritizing problems, considering resource constraints, while aiming for substantial improvements. As a reminder, we have now covered steps 1 and 2 and move on to step 3, conducting a risk assessment. This step cannot be done until the first two have been completed. Step 3 of the Wash Fit cycle involves conducting a risk assessment, crucial for identifying and prioritizing improvement areas in healthcare facilities. This step begins by generating a comprehensive list of problems taken from the facility assessment completed in step 2, followed by a detailed analysis of associated risks for each problem. Each problem is ranked based on its potential impact severity, leading to a prioritized list for intervention. During the risk assessment process, issues are evaluated based on two criteria, both scored out of 10: severity of consequences and likelihood of occurrence. Severity is categorized into low, medium, and high as shown. This indicates the potential impact on health and the environment. Likelihood is assessed as rare, occasional, or highly likely, reflecting the frequency of occurrence. By systematically analyzing severity and likelihood, each issue the facility faces is scored out of 20. Low risk issues scoring less than 7 require minor improvements to meet standards, while medium risk scoring 8 to 14 may cause discomfort and affect service quality and may require more substantial improvements. High risk problems scoring 15 to 20 pose significant threats, impacting service provision, compromising safety, and affecting dignity and equity. These are the problems that will require immediate attention. You will wish to develop your own context appropriate criteria for risk, but make sure that the principles of safeguarding public health are never compromised. For each problem, the score and reason behind it should be recorded as a reminder to the team when revisiting the results at a later stage. This structured approach ensures critical issues are addressed promptly while allowing for resolution of lower risk problems over time, optimizing resource allocation. Let's look an example from a small hospital in West Timor, Indonesia. There, a novel approach of prioritizing facility improvements was used. Each indicator that did not meet standards was written on a strip of paper. Indicators were then scored by relative risk without assigning a score. The top third were classified as highest risk and addressed first. The middle third were classified medium risk, and the bottom third, the lower risk. This inclusive approach allows staff at all levels to engage in the process and contribute to decision making. They collectively prioritize issues through consensus driven discussions using their own criteria tailored to their facilities' needs. It stands out for its simplicity and effectiveness in addressing problems. The impact of climate change must be considered when assessing risks in healthcare facilities. As our climate changes, it introduces new challenges and exacerbates existing ones, each with its own risk. These risks are dynamic and will evolve over time. Consider how risks might evolve in the future as they are influenced by climate change. For example, a facility located in a coastal area which faces minimal flood risk now might face increased risk in the future due to rising sea levels. Integrating climate change into risk assessments will require you to evaluate potential future scenarios based on climate change predictions. This helps anticipate and prepare for evolving threats to increase future resilience. Consulting local or national climate experts may be useful. All healthcare facilities, whatever the setting, will have finite resources, both financial and human. Facilities need to prioritize where their resources are used. Using risk scores to develop a facilities improvement plan helps decision making. By sorting problems based on severity and likelihood of impact, urgent issues are addressed first, ensuring user safety and operational efficiency. Some low risk problems require simple solutions and often quick win opportunities. Often, the resources required to address the most severe risks are not immediately available. In these instances, it is better to start with the so called quick wins than to take no action while waiting to address the biggest issues. High risk issues may need immediate attention, but lower risk ones should not be overlooked indefinitely. This strategic approach ensures a balanced allocation of resources, promoting continuous improvement across the facility. We now look at two examples of risk from one facility. Both of these linked to sanitation. This facility is facing problems with collection of fecal waste so that when heavy rains occur, the tank overflows. The issue depends on many factors, including budgets, climate fluctuations, and the integrity of the structure to begin with. In this second example, there's a lack of proper lighting in the toilets. Light fittings are missing and broken, and people use the toilets must carry a torch. This is an issue of safety and risk of falling. Based on the risk assessment, the fecal waste problem poses a larger threat than lack of lighting in the toilet, especially if the facility does not usually serve clients at night. However, it may be easier or quicker to fix the lighting as an example of a quick win. By fixing this problem, it can build momentum and encourage the facility to tackle more difficult issues like the safe management of fecal waste. In the next module, we'll focus on planning improvements. Thank you for completing this module. Key points to take away. Understanding the importance of accurately assigning and interpreting risk scores. Effectively prioritize actions in areas identified as high risk. Utilize Excel to streamline the calculation of risk scores. Formulate strategies for prioritizing that are mindful of resource limitations. Adjust risk management approaches to address environmental challenges. Please make sure to explore the reference section of this module for access to all mentioned resources.